I tell you, it's always a privilege to be able to stand before a body of Christ and be able to share what our heart is at Olive Crest, and certainly what we believe the Scriptures have to say about works and about ministry. Olive Crest was started in 1973, really just down the street, 55 Freeway and 4th Avenue. That's where our headquarters are. And there was a physician and his wife that saw a need of young women that had children or were going to have children, and they responded to God's call to do something about it, and they decided to open up their home. And as they opened up their home, there were more opportunities, and they decided, let's open up another home, and essentially that's what we would call a group home today. And they started with group homes. And then in Orange County, the need began to grow. There's a lot about Orange County that we like, is there not? You know, and I don't want to get into an Orange County versus L.A. County thing. You know, we can do that next week when the Angels play the Dodgers. But the idea that there are great needs, and why is that? Because there's sin in this world, and there's a degenerate family system that we experience. So the need was greater to have more group homes. And then as Olive Crest began to grow, there were things like family preservation, where you went into a home after a child's already been abused, and you reteach the parents, how do you not abuse again? And then there are other things called foster care. And in Los Angeles, we've been there for 7 years in Los Angeles County, being able to essentially work with the county system. And we have all of our services are contract provided, which means that we have a relationship with the county, and the county is asking us to provide families. So when they have that very difficult task of removing a child from a home, there's a family to be able to receive that child. Let me tell you today, church, the county is already seeing what God is doing. They are recruiting churches to this day. In the last several months, they have realized that God is doing something amazing in the churches in this area. And believe it or not, there are some county offices, Torrance is one of them, that has something they call a faith-based committee, okay? They can't say Christian-based committee, not quite yet, but a faith-based committee. And they invite pastors to join with the county to recruit Christian families. Oh, sorry, they can't say Christian families, faith-based families. But you see, even within those parameters, God's starting to move. And we've got pastors that come, because I've been to some of these meetings, and they'll say, well, what about church and state? You're supposed to separate that. God's starting to break down that too. Why? Because He cares for the children in foster care. He cares for these orphans that need to have a different life. I want to read with you again out of James. If you turn to James chapter 2, we're moving a little bit beyond what Pastor James shared. Chapter 2, verse 11. And I tell you, James hits the folks hard right here. He says, what does it profit, my brethren, if someone says he has faith but does not have works? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister is naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you says to them, oh, depart in peace, be warmed and filled, but you do not give the things which are needed for the body, then what does it profit? I think of Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and we had a great skit. I'm going to come back to that. But that idea of just to say, depart in peace, be warmed, be filled, it's very nice. I mean, it's a thoughtful thing to do, is it not? Certainly wouldn't give anybody a hard time for having a kind thought. But I think of our skit in FCA where we tried to demonstrate this, and the most hilarious part, as sad as it was most of the time in this skit we just said, you know what, I'm going to be praying for you. And we had a person that was destitute and homeless or needed love or needed some type of tangible thing, and prayer was what we gave them. Well, again, that's a good thing, right? I mean, that's something that honors God. But what I believe James is saying here is there are times where that's not enough. And as we look further, he says, thus, faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. And in turn, 18, but someone will say, well, you have faith and I have works. Show me your faith without your works, and I'll show you my faith by my works. You believe that there is one God. You do well. Even the demons believe and tremble. But do you not want to know, O foolish man, that faith without works is dead? Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he offered Isaac his son on the altar? Do you see that faith was working together with his works, and by works faith was made perfect? The Scriptures were fulfilled, which says that Abraham believed God, and it was accounted to him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of God. So you see that a man is justified by works and not by faith alone. So that's the challenge today, and I'll talk more later on. I want you to see a video, and this is a ministry, a video about a ministry essentially, and that's what I'm here representing. But to challenge you to consider what your ministry is today, your own personal ministry.